Hello students, before we start our chapter, I would like to request you all to watch our introductory 2 videos given by me so that you will be clear about the 3-step strategy to do Dhamaka in physics exams. We have given the videos in the description box, or you can just click on our videos displayed at the end of this video for either introductory 2 videos or the next videos. Okay then, let's enjoy physics by Mr. Patel, who has a long, profound experience of 29 years of teaching physics in Sainik School, Balachand.
Refraction by a lens. This is lens maker's formula, most important theory. As we have seen before, this is a lens, correct? This is object distance, the final image is here. We will bifurcate into 2 parts. First, this spherical part we will take, this one. Again, we will consider that it's a thin lens, so the BD thickness can be neglected with respect to the distance u and the v and the radius of curvature r1 and r2. It has 2 surfaces, these surfaces have center of curvature on the left side, and this first surface has a radius center of curvature on the right side, that is r1, and this is r2. r1 is plus, and for this r2, this side opposite to the direction of ray, that is -1. We will see it, correct. Again, this distance is less, correct. It is a small aperture. We can consider this as this distance and perpendicular drawn on the principal axis, correct. First refracting surface forms the image I1. This surface forms the image I1. Take the ray, correct, from the O is the object, this is an object. So, ray will go like this, they will. Now, another ray you can take from the passing from the pole, and the center of curvature, it will go direct, and these 2 rays are meeting here and forming an image. I1 is the first image formed by the first convex surface of the thin lens. So, refractive index of this is air or any other medium, you can say N1. Here it is air, and for this is N2, or you can take any medium, even water also you can take. Correct? So, for the first interface, as we have seen before, the N1 upon OB plus N2 upon BI is equal to N2 minus N1 upon BC1 in the case of this first surface, correct. Now, for the second surface, this I1 acts as a virtual image, and final image is formed here, correct. So, this distance, now this will be a -1. Now, for a thin lens, BI1 is equal to DI1, adding 1 and 2, the previous equation 1 and 2, N1 upon OB plus N1 upon DI is equal to N2 minus N1 into bracket 1 upon BC1 plus 1 upon BC2, correct. Suppose object is at infinity. Now, put the condition, object is at infinity, this O is the object, is placed at infinity. So, this distance will be infinity. So, N1 upon infinity is 0, this will be 0. This is the final image. If this is infinity, image will be formed at the principal focus. Already we have seen parallel rays coming from the object O, they will converge at the principal focus. So, DI, that the distance will be the principal focus. So, N1 upon F, that could be is equal to N2 minus N1 upon 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R, because OB is infinity and DI is F and BC1 is R1 for the first surface. The radius of curvature is on the right side, center of curvature. So, the radius of curvature is plus, and for the second concave surface of the thin lens, that is radius center of curvature is on the left side. So, R2 is minus. So, 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. So, 1 upon F is equal to N2 1, we can write N2 upon N1, that is also N2 1 also, minus N1, correct. You can take N1 divided by N1. So, this will be N2 upon N1 minus 1, N2 1 minus 1 into bracket 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. This equation is a lens maker's formula, very important formula, asked number of times, or either example or the theory, it will be asked definitely. For a concave lens, R1 is negative. Concave lens, R1 is negative. Remember. For concave, this also will be negative, and this is already negative, so minus, and this is also a minus. So you can change the equation for concave lens. It is true for real images and virtual images also, and correct for the true for the both the types of lenses, whether it is convex or concave. And R2 is positive from equations 3 and 4, correct. Now this is 3 and this is 4. You compare this, see, look, correct. This is common. This is equal to this one, and this is also equal to this one, correct. And this is u, OB is u, and di is v. So we can write n1 upon u plus n1 upon v is equal to n1 upon f. So n1 upon OB plus n1 upon di is equal to n1 upon f. For a thin lens, B and D both are close to the optical center, correct. That is why we can take it. So BO is equal to minus U and DI is equal to plus V, correct, because final image is on the left side. So only virtual image, for that we have to take the negative side. Otherwise, all distances which are the images and the distance on the right side is a positive. So 1 upon V, OB is minus U, that is you take this side, and minus 1 upon U, OB is N1, that is 1 upon U, that is minus, this is minus. So we take this image V, image distance first, that is N1 upon V, that is N1 is common. So 1 upon V, this is minus 1 upon U, and that is equal to 1 upon f. This is a thin lens formula. This is a lens formula, whereas this one is a lens maker's formula. Doctors, physician uses this formula for making a lens. Now, image of an object formed by lens. This is a convex lens, this is a concave lens, correct. It is thinner in the middle, thicker at the edges. This is thicker in the middle and thinner at edges. It's a double convex, and this is double concave. Concave, that is diverging lens also it is called. This is convex, that is converging lens. So for formation of image, we take 2 rays minimum. Here I have taken 3 rays, you can take minimum 2 rays. One parallel, that will pass from the focal point, principal focus. On the other side, it has 2 foci, this left side and the right side, correct. This is a real focus, this is correct. This is the focus of this surface, first surface, and this is the focus of this surface. Similarly, to center of curvature also at 2f distance, that is, this is C1 and this is C2 also, correct. And this distance is called the radius of curvature. This is for this, that is this R1, R1 is positive, and for this is R2, that is negative, correct, because ray direction is in this direction, correct. So distance of this center of curvature is from the lens to the 2f dash, correct. So parallel ray after refraction from the lens will pass from the f, principal focus, and it will form the image of this top portion. Say this is A, then this will be A. Another you can take from the optical center. In the case of mirrors, it is a pole, geometrical center. In the case of lenses, it is called optical center. You can say O also, correct. So this ray goes undeviated, and another one ray again we have taken from the F, that will go parallel. If it is parallel, it will go from the F. If it is going from the F, it will go parallel after refraction, correct. In the case of the concave lens, here image is real image, this is inverted and real. So most of the cases, as in the case of the concave mirror, the images forms are real except one. When object is placed between F and the optical center, if it is here somewhere within the F, then image will be virtual, erect and magnified. That will form, correct, on the same side. That is, image will be this side. So concave lens, this is, here I have taken two rays, one, this is a diverging lens, the ray will go like this, correct, after refraction it will diverge, this is a diverging lens, and from the optical center it will go undeviated. These two rays will never meet and form the real image. If we produce them back, then it seems that appear to be coming from this point. So this point is called the image of this top. Similarly, you can take other two rays from this point and whole image you can see. This is a smaller in size. Here it is bigger in size, because you can see if object is between 2f and f, the image will be beyond 2f. If it is at f, it will be infinity. If it is at 2f, then it will be at the 2f, as in the case of the concave mirror, correct. And here in the case of concave, it always forms the virtual image. It never gives the real image, that is upright, correct. Or if the object is at infinity at the most, then image will be formed at f. Or if it is between this, then it will be within the optical, the center and the f. Correct. Now magnification. The magnification is, as in the case, as we have seen in the mirror, same size of the image upon size of an object. So magnification m is equal to size of the, that is h dash is the image size upon object size, h dash upon h, and that is equal to v upon u, correct. So m is positive for virtual images and m is negative for inverted images. For this it is negative, for this it is positive. Example 9.8 on page number 328. If focal length of the given lens, double convex lens, is 0.5 meter for a glass lens, what is the power of the lens? That we will see later on, correct. I will just tell you the equation. The power of a lens is equal to 1 upon focal length in meter, that is 1 upon 0.5, that is 2, its unit is diopter, correct. So power is 2D, or we will study later on. The power P is equal to 1 upon focal length in meter. So that is equal to 1 upon 0.5, and that is equal to 2. And its unit is diopter, so it is 2 diopter, correct. Now next, second, for f is equal to 12 centimeter, what is the refractive index? For a double convex lens, the R1 is 10 centimeter, R2 is 15 centimeter, f is 12. F is given, R1 and R2 are given, what is the refractive index? We know that equation is n1 upon f. I have written directly n1 upon f is equal to n2 minus n1. This n1, that is for air. If ray is coming from the air, then it is 1. This n1 is for the air, that is Na, you can say, and this is Ng for glass also. In some book it is written as a mu g also. Here in your book they have used symbol n. So n is equal for air, refractive index is 1. So n1 upon f, that is 12. Focal length is 12. F is equal to 12 centimeter. Into bracket n2 minus n1, that is n minus 1. N1 is 1 and n2 is n. So we have just changed the symbol. Into bracket the R1 minus 1 upon R2, correct. Now for convex lens, R2 is negative, R1 is positive, R2 is negative. This is a general equation, 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. Now you have to place the convention sign according to sign convention. This R1 is plus, so it won't change. R2 is minus, so it will be a plus. Correct? So this if we simplify, then this will be 1 by 6. This will be plus. Correct? So you can write as plus will be, that is LCM is 30. Then this will be 3 plus 2, 5, 5 upon 30, 5 upon 30, that is 1 by 6, 1 by 6, that is 1 by 6. So n minus 1 into 1 by 6. Now we want refractive index, so n minus 1 is equal to, take this 6 on this side, 6 by 12, that is half, is equal to half. So n is equal to 1 plus half, that is 3 by 2, or n is equal to 1.5. This is the answer, 1.5. Third, so care should be taken that for the sign. Correct? A convex lens has focal length f is equal to 20 centimeter in air. What is the focal length in water? Correct? In air it is 20, so in water of refractive index more than air, that is refractive index of the air water is given 1.33, that is 4 by 3. And refractive index for air glass is 1.5, that is 3 by 2. It is more. Diamond has maximum 2.42. So write the equation again. N1, that is air, if it is going from the air, then air to glass. So 1 upon Fa, focal length in the air. What is the focal length in the air? That is Fa. So N1 is the refractive index of air, that is 1. You can write 1 upon Fa is equal to Ng N2 minus N1, that is N1 is air, or Ng minus air, for refractive index for air is 1. So you can write directly also into bracket 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. This is general equation. We have not put the sign. So Fa, focal length in air is 20, so 1 upon 20 is equal to refractive index of glass is 1.5, so 1.5 minus 1, the bracket 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. So 1.5 minus 1, that is 0.5. Take on this side, so it will be 1 upon 20 into 0.5. 20 into 0.5, that is 10. So 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2 is 1 upon 10. Now write the equation for the glass water. So here focal length in the water we have to calculate. So 1 upon N1 upon Fw, that is correct, is equal to Ng upon Nw minus 1, correct, or Ng minus Nw, Ng minus Nw, into bracket 1 upon R1 minus, this is general equation, minus 1 upon R2. So Ng is 1.5 and Nw is this one. So 1 upon Fw is equal to 1.5 upon 1.33 minus 1 into, we have already calculated, 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2 is equal to 1 by 10. Put the value of it. So 1 upon Fw is equal to 1.5 minus 1.33 upon 1.33 into 1 by 10. This calculation is 0.7. So now take the reciprocal. Fw is equal to, correct, this will go down, this will go up, correct. So this difference is 0.7, this will go down as a denominator. So 10 into, this will go up, that is 10 into 1.33, this product will go up, just reciprocal upon 0.7, and that is equal to 78.2. So remember that if it is instead of air is water, then focal length increases. It was 20 in the air and becomes about 4 times in the water due to the change in the refractive index. So they will deviate less. It will refract it at a lesser angle when it is passing from water to the glass. Power of a lens. It is defined as the tangent of the angle by which it converges or diverges a beam of light falling at a unit distance from the focal length. This ray is falling at a unit distance from the focal point, say this distance is 1 meter. Then is the angle at which it converges or diverges. This is a converging lens, convex, double convex lens. So ray will converge. So this it converges from direct ray, it deviates from at this angle, that is delta. So this delta is equal also this delta. So we can take the tangent, or it is a measure of the degree of convergence or divergence of the light rays falling on it. Degree of convergence or divergence. In the case of concave lens, it is divergence. In the case of convex lens, this is a convex lens, double convex lens. This is double convex lens. It is converging, correct? It converges the rays. So tan delta is equal to h upon this distance, that is f, focal length f. Distance from the principal focus to the optical center is f, correct? All distance measured from the pole as a origin. So distance is measured in this direction. This is the direction of light ray, incident light ray. So this distance is left to the right distances are always positive. So f is positive, h upon f. If h is now h is 1, then tan delta is 1 upon f, or delta is equal to 1 by f. For a small delta, tan delta is equal to delta, correct? So power of a lens is equal to 1 upon focal length, 1 upon f, correct? Tan delta can be taken as delta. So the symbol of the power of a lens is P. So P is equal to 1 upon f. F is in meter. The SI unit is diopter. So if f is 1 meter, then this will be 1 by 1, that is, it will be 1 diopter. 1 diopter is the power of a lens whose focal length is 1 meter. Now 1 diopter is equal to 1 per meter, or meter minus 1. The diopter, or correct, power of a lens is positive for converging lens, that is convex lens, and power of a lens D is negative for diverging lens, that is concave lens, remember. Thus when an optician prescribes a corrective lens of power 2.5 diopter, the required lens is a convex lens, plus means convex lens, minus means concave, of focal length 40 centimeter. You can calculate it. The power of a lens is, that is, power is equal to 1 upon f. So focal length is equal to 1 upon power of a lens. That is, what is the power of a lens? P is equal to 2.5 diopter. That is, f is equal to 1 upon 2.5, that is 5 by 2. Or you can just take it directly, 2 by 5. 2 by 5 meter. This is in meter, remember, unit. So you convert into centimeter, multiply by 100. That is 20 into 20 is very simple, that is 40 centimeters. P is equal to 40 centimeter, correct? A lens of power minus, that is concave lens, barabar, that means minus, and it has a focal length similarly 1 upon 4. You can write 1 by P is equal to 1 by 4. This is in meter. So you convert into by multiplying 100. That is 25. And this is minus, correct? Minus 25. This is minus. Next is example 9.7 on page number 327. A magician during a show makes a glass lens with n is equal to 1.47 disappears in a trough of liquid. What is the refractive index of the liquid? Could the liquid be water? Correct. So, refractive index is the same, that of the lens. Correct. So, focal length will be infinity. Correct. So, ray won't divert, it will go the same, so it won't be seen. You can use the equation n1 upon f, that is n1 upon f is equal to n2 minus n1, correct, into 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2, general equation, correct. n1 is equal to n2, correct. The show makes a lens and it disappears, that is it will be a same. The liquid has also, the answer is 1.7, correct. N liquid, L for liquid, N for refractive index. Both are the same. Both are the same. So, this will be 0. This will be 0. So, N1 upon F is equal to 0. Correct? Therefore, F is equal to, you take on this side, is equal to N1 upon 0, that is infinity. Correct? This liquid, this 1.7, that is, it could not be a water, because water has a refractive index and W it could not be a water. The water has NW is equal to 4 by 3, that is equal to 1.33, correct. So, it could not be, it is more than water, that is glycerin. So, refractive index of a glycerin. Combination of thin lenses in contact. Let us see, these are the two lenses A and B, double convex lenses. They are thin lenses, so optical center of the both the lenses is say considered to be a common one for both. Correct? So, consider two lenses A and B of focal length f1 and f2. The first lens has a focal length f1, this has focal length, B has f2. The image formed by the first lens is I1, that will act as a virtual image or virtual object for the second lens. This is the image of the A lens and it acts as a virtual object for B lens. So, again final image is formed as I. So, this is the object distance u, this is the image distance V1 for the first image formed by A lens, and this is the final image formed by B lens. This is V1 will be a object distance u1 or u for this B lens, and final image this is a V for B lens, correct. So, from the lens formula we can use this 1 upon V1 minus 1 upon u is equal to 1 upon f. 1 upon V1, that is for the first lens, this is the image I1. So, image distance is V1 and object distance is u. So, 1 upon V1 minus 1 upon u is 1 upon f1, this is equation 1. Now, for the second lens, the image formed by the second lens B, correct. So, 1 upon V, the image distance is V for this lens, B lens, and object distance is V1. So, 1 upon V minus 1 upon V1 is equal to 1 upon f2, f2 is the focal length of B, correct. Add this, adding these two, this V1 cut, So 1 upon V minus 1 upon U is equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2, correct. So if we consider this is the effective focal length of the combined lengths is f, then 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2 is equal to 1 upon f, you can write, correct. Therefore 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2. It is valid for any number of thin lenses. Suppose the number of lenses A, B, C, D, E, F, G are in contact, then effective focal length is say f, then f is equal to 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2 plus 1 upon f3, 1 upon f4 and so on, correct. We have to consider the only sign. Suppose it is a convex lens, then it is plus, concave is minus, correct. So if second lens is concave, this will be minus. So that is to be kept in mind. In terms of the power, also power of the lenses, suppose number of lenses 1, 2, 3, 4 are in contact, then power of combined power is the effective power of all lenses is P is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3. That is, this is P is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3 plus so on, correct. Because 1 upon f is the power. Reciprocal of the focal length is the power. We will see in the next topic. Where P is the net power of the effective power, net power of the lens combination. Note that the sum in the equation 4, this sum is an algebraic sum of individual powers. So sum of the terms on the right side may be positive, or like a right side may be positive. If it is a convex, it is positive. If this is concave, then P2 will be minus P1 minus P2 plus, suppose this is also concave, then it is also minus. Remember that concave has focal length minus, whether it is a lens or mirror, convex positive, correct. That is may be positive for convex lens and some negative, that is for concave lenses. Total magnification M is the product of all magnification. Magnification produced by the first lens, second lens, third lens, that is M1 multiplied by M2 multiplied by M3, M2 and so on. Find the position of image formed by combination of lenses or lens combination. Here this is a convex lens, this is a concave lens, and this is also a convex. This double convex, this is plano concave. So these two are convex, this is concave. Image, the object is placed at the 30 centimeter from the first lens, correct. So image formed by the first lens is equal to, use the formula, the lens formula, 1 upon V minus 1 upon U is equal to 1 upon F. Let us call the focal length of first lens F1 and image distance is V1. So 1 upon V1 minus 1 upon U1 is equal to 1 upon F1, correct. So 1 upon V1 minus 1 upon U, U is negative always, U is always whether it is a lens or mirror. So minus 1 upon minus 30 is equal to 1 upon 10. This gives about V1 is equal to 15 centimeter. So V1 image is formed at 15 centimeter. So this is 5 centimeter. So it will be at a 10 centimeter from the concave lens, middle lens, correct. So and focal length of the concave is also 10. So what will be the, when object is placed at the focal point, correct, at the distance of focal length, image will be at infinity. So let us calculate it. So 1 upon, for the second lens, the distance is 15 minus 5, correct. This distance is 15, correct. Image distance is 15, maybe here, minus 5, that is distance of the image formed by the first lens is from the concave lens is 10 centimeter, correct. So V1 is 15 centimeter, U2 is 10 centimeter, this is infinity. So 1 upon V2, say image distance, image formed by the second lens, this lens, is V2, it is infinity, we will see it, minus object distance is 10. The image formed by the first lens will act as a virtual object for this. So 1 upon minus 10, and that is equal to, so this will be 0. So 1 upon V2 is 0, that is V2 is equal to infinity. correct? The virtual image is formed at the infinity, correct? This virtual image, this concave lens always gives a virtual image, correct? And to the left of the second lens. Now this image, this acts as an object for the third lens. This image formed at the infinity, that acts as a, this side, left side, that is acts as a object for this lens, correct? Final image formed by the concave lens is at infinity. So at infinity distance, so focal length of this, the rays will come parallel and they will converge at the principal focus at 30 centimeters. Let us see it, correct? So 1 upon V3 minus 1 upon U3, U3 is infinity, correct, is equal to 1 upon F3. So 1 upon V3 is equal to, you take this side, that is 1 upon infinity plus 1 upon F3, that is 30, and that is V3 is equal to 30 centimeter, correct? It's very simple, but you should consider keep in mind well about the sign convention. Let us see next topic, refraction through a prism, correct? This is a figure of the prism, correct? Is made of glass, maybe crown, ordinary or flint glass, correct? This is the incident ray, is incidence at angle, incidence angle I. This is a normal, dotted line shows the normal at this face AB. This is a base and this is the vertex. This angle is angle of prism, it is called also, correct? Or refracting angle also it is called, correct? It depends, refraction depends upon this A, angle of prism. So it goes like this, that is refract as a QR and finally emerges at a R, say S or any other. This is emergent ray finally coming out from the ray. So this is the emergent angle, emergent ray with the normal. This is incident ray with the normal, that is incident angle, you know. This is a refracted angle in the denser medium, that is a material of the glass prism, correct? Glass prism. Here this is the incident angle for this and this is the refracted angle, we call it as a emergent angle, E. So R1 and R2, correct? These are the interior angles. Now consider this triangle, this quadrilateral AQ and R, AQ and R, correct? The vertices, at the vertices Q and R are the right angles, correct? These are totally, this is a normal, this is a normal to this face, so this angle is 90 degree. Similarly, this angle is also 90 degree. So these two angles have sum 180 degree. So sum of this also A plus N will be 180, correct? So angle A, the sum of the other angle, that is these angles, they are 180. So sum of the other angle A and N, that is angle A and Q and R, this angle, their sum will be 180. From the triangle Q and R, Q and R, so R1 plus R2 plus Q and R, sum of the three angles, R1 plus R2 plus N is equal to 180. Now R1 plus R2 plus N is equal to 180 and N plus A is equal to 180. That is R1 plus R2 is equal to A. So R1 plus R2 is equal to A. Correct? You compare these two, this and this one. So this angle is common. If you add Q and R to A, that also 180, or if you add R1 plus R2 to Q and R, that also 180, that is A is equal to R1 plus R2, very simple. The total deviation delta is the sum of the deviation at two faces. Here there is a deviation, correct, by this angle, and here again there is a deviation, correct. So total deviation is the delta. This is the incident ray and this is the emergent ray. So total deviation is delta. Now let us find the delta. So delta is the exterior angle of this triangle. You can see the triangle QRM. So this angle is R1, so this is R1 minus this whole angle is I, so I minus R1. So this angle is also E minus R2. So I plus E minus R1 plus R2, that is equal to delta, or you can write delta is equal to I minus R1. Delta is equal to this angle, this is I minus R1 and I minus E minus R2. Correct? Whole angle is, this whole angle is E. So this is E minus R2. Correct? This whole angle is this angle will be equal. Barabar. So what is this angle? E minus R2. With this angle is equal to I. So what is this angle? This whole angle is equal to I. So this angle is R1. So this is I minus R1. So what is delta? Delta is I minus R1 plus E minus R2. Correct? And that is equal to delta is equal to I, this is plus and this is minus and minus, take the minus common. So I plus E minus R1 plus R2. And that is equal to, what is R1 plus R2? That is equal to A. R1 plus R2 is equal to A, because R1 plus R2 and N is equal to 180 and N plus A is equal to 180. Already we have seen. So R1 plus R2 is equal to A. So put the value of A, that is I plus E minus A. So delta is, when delta is equal to delta M, minimum deviation, that I is equal to E. Correct? Which implies that R1 is equal to R2. From the equation 3, we have 2R is equal to A. R1 is equal to R2. So R1 plus R2 is equal to 2R, or R is equal to, and 2R is equal to A, because R1 plus R2 is equal to A and R1 is equal to R2 at minimum deviation, not any other angle. If this angle is minimum deviation dm, it is delta, when delta is dm, there is the only value when I is equal to all other values of delta, then they have two values. Correct? The only in delta m, when deviation is delta m, minimum deviation, and there is no possibility of less than the delta m deviation for this prism and for the light, then I is equal to E. That is, at the time, that implies R1 is equal to R2. Correct? From the equation 3, we have, that is this equation, 2R is equal to A. So index, we know that Snell's law, sin I upon sin R is equal to mu or n. So dm, delta m is equal to 2I minus A. I plus E is equal to this, when delta is equal to delta m, this is 2I, I is equal to E, and this is 2R, that is minus E, 2I minus E. So I is equal to A plus delta m by 2. So refractive index n21 is equal to sin A plus delta m by 2 upon sin A by 2, sin A plus delta m upon 2 upon sin A by 2. If angle is small, for a small angle of prism, correct? So sin theta can be taken as a theta. So n21 will be equal to A plus dm upon A, 2 will be cut. Correct? That could be written as n21 is equal to A plus dm upon 2 upon A by 2. So 2 will be cut. So you can summarize this, and n21 multiplied by, or n, simply you can say n into A is equal to A plus dm. So delta m is equal to A into bracket n minus 1. You can simplify it. You have studied that there was a shortage of space in the board, so I have written it again to explain in details. So delta, the deviation angle delta of a prism is equal to I minus R1 plus E minus R2. The delta is the angle of deviation. Delta is equal to I plus E minus R1 plus R2. Rearrange it. So delta is equal to I plus E minus A. So if prism is the same and wavelength of the light is the same, then it depends, delta depends, A will be the same for the same prism, correct? I depends on this, so that delta depends only on the I for a given prism and color of light. Now as I increases, first this is a graph for the I and the delta. If I increases, the delta decreases. So I increases, the first delta decreases and reaches the minimum value. This is the minimum value of the delta, that is here it is 40. It depends upon the prism, correct, and angle of incidence I. So this is dm, delta minimum, and it is same for this delta m is the same whatever the angle of incidence for the same prism and same color of light. But delta changes with the I, correct. So E will also change and reaches a minimum value delta m. So then increases, then after again it increases with the increase of I. Thus in general any given value of delta except for I is equal to E, there are two values, this is a value of I and this is a value of I, correct. So there are two values of I and E also, you can see correspond to the two values, that is angle of incidence and hence the angle of emergence. Same if I and E are the interchange, that is if you interchange, then there won't be any, delta is equal to I plus E minus A, that is delta remains the same, A is also same. So if I and E are interchanged, whether it is I plus E or E plus I, it is same. That is, if you retrace the path, in the case of the prism, correct, that delta won't change. The same if I and E are interchanged. Physically, it means that the path of the ray can be traced back, resulting in the same angle of deviation. That will be, angle of deviation will be the same. The minimum value of the angle of deviation suffers by ray on the passing through the prism is called the angle of minimum deviation, correct. This is a minimum, not less, deviation less than the dm is not possible for this prism and for this color of light. So dm on passing through the prism called the angle of minimum deviation dm. At minimum deviation dm, the refracted ray inside the prism and that becomes parallel. So inside the ray you can retrace the path at minimum deviation and also, so this is a prism, the ray is going like this will be parallel to the base, this is the base of a prism, the ray will be parallel, and this is I and here say it will go away, this is emergent ray, correct, this is angle of base. So if you retrace the path, that also will be the same. If you interchange, this will be I and this will be E. You can, instead of I, it will be E and this will be E. So that won't make any difference. At that time the ray will go the parallel. This is where it happens at the minimum deviation. At minimum deviation we have delta is equal to delta m, minimum deviation, and I is equal to E, which implies that R1 is equal to R2 also. So R1 plus R2, R1 is equal to R2, that is R1 plus R2 is equal to 2R, and that is equal to A. We have already seen R1 plus R2 is equal to A, that is 2R is equal to A, or A, R is equal to A by 2. This angle of refraction is half of the angle of prism. In the delta now, in the same way, the delta is equal to I plus E minus A, that gives dm is equal to, this is I is equal to E, that is 2I minus A, or I is equal to, take this on this side, dm plus A, that is and 2i is equal to dm plus a delta m plus a, that is I is equal to a plus delta m by 2. Now use the Snell's law. The mu refractive index of the glass material of the glass prism is ratio of the sine of the angle of incidence I to the sine of the angle of refraction R. So n2 1, 2 is the glass and 1 is the air. It is with respect, you can say Ga also, correct, or Ng upon Na also, it is written different way. So it is equal to sin I upon sin R. Sin I, that is I is del A plus delta m by 2, that is sin A plus delta m by 2 upon sin R, that is R is equal to A by 2, that is sin R is equal to sin A by 2. And this can be measured experimentally. You can measure this. Spectrometer is the instrument used for this, and to measure the A and the dm, delta m. Both are measurable, so mu could be computed. Thus, the refractive index n of a material of a prism can be determined or computed. For a small angle of prism, now let us see the formula for the small angle. The sin theta can be taken as theta, so sin A plus dm by 2 is equal to A plus dm by 2, correct, or sin A by 2 is equal to A by 2 also. So n to 1 is equal to A plus delta m by 2 upon A by 2, 2 will cancel. So this is equal to n to A, take on this side, multiply it, n to 1a is equal to A plus delta m, again you take the A on this side. So Na, or instead of you write refractive index with respect to air as a refractive index of a glass only, simply, that is air has only one. So Na minus A is equal to dm, or delta m is equal to this A is common, A into bracket n minus 1. This is for the formula for the small prism, angle prism.